reason to go with the Jeep Gladiator over the Jeep Wrangler. At least the two-door, anyway. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Rob Motive JT. Real quick, if you haven't before, smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. So today, I wanted to give you another reason to go with the Jeep Gladiator over the Jeep Wrangler, at least the two-door anyway. And if I'm being real specific, the hard top versus the soft top. We're gonna jump in both, we're gonna go for a ride, and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. All right, we are starting off in the Jeep Wrangler, and just for clarity, this is a Jeep Wrangler 2018. It is a two-door soft top. And it does have the bigger engine. And the first thing, and there's actually two reasons when talking about the soft top, but we're going to talk about the most important thing, and that is the ride quality. You know, we do have some bigger tires on this Jeep. So it is going to be a little bit rougher, I guess. As far as pressure goes, we're running looks like 36 psi. So just to give you an idea, the tires aren't hugely overinflated, and that would cause a rougher ride. This does have a 3.2 lift, so just to make things even a little bit more firmer, for full disclosure. But I'm driving on a side road, a back road, and you might see the camera bouncing a little bit. That's because it is. I'm bouncing a little bit whenever I go over anything back here. We have a pretty substantial surface change right here. So let me get through that. Now we're on a smooth road. So not so bad here. You can still feel the bumps and things in the road. There are some divots and things on this road, but it's not horribly bad. So on a smooth surface, I guess you could say it's okay. Still a firmer ride than what I have in the Jeep Gladiator, but it's definitely rougher, I suppose. Now we're going to get out on a 55-mile-an-hour road. I do have some wind today, and that's where we're going to get into the soft top a little bit. Let me turn the corner here. Yeah, we have a vehicle coming. We'll wait for it. But it is quite windy outside, and it's going to be blowing from the side, I think. So here we go. We'll accelerate up. This does have the air raid intake on it, by the way, so you may notice a little bit more sound, which I think is cool. But we're cruising at 55 miles an hour, and we're actually... Let's see which way the wind is going here. It is coming from the side, maybe the back sideways a little bit. You will hear some noise. I'm assuming you can hear wind noise right now. It's the top. And the top on this Jeep actually blows or comes in against the roll bars. And you do hear some noise from that as you're driving along. You can hear the top moving anyway. Hopefully the video picks that up. We're going to pass a semi. And we didn't get too much out of that. It did the little Jeep wave there. We had another Jeep coming at us. There are tons of Jeeps around here. By the way, I am going to take the Gladiator out next so you can get kind of a feel for what both are like. And I am going to run down the roughest road that I have in the area in both, just so you can see what they're like. As far as road noise goes, yeah, there is more road noise in here. I can hear the tires more. Of course, you wouldn't have that if you didn't have a more aggressive tire. But I also I can hear the top moving a little bit. It's not really so bad right now, but when you get into heavier wind, and we have the wind behind us now, so it's kind of a non-factor. But when you get into heavier wind, you certainly can feel and hear the wind blowing. And feel is another thing. This thing, because this Jeep Wrangler, because it does sit up higher and it is more really just a cube without the back bed on, like the Gladiator, it does get affected more by the wind. I can feel the wind blowing me around a bit, and I do have to fight it a little bit in the steering when it's coming across the road as opposed to behind us. So let's get up to the rougher road. We'll see what that's like. Here's a railroad track for you on the way. All right, we're turning on to the rougher road now. This is going to be the biggest test, I guess, between the two. So we're just going to drive along. We'll see how it is. I mean, I'm sure you can see the camera bouncing around already. This is just a road with a bunch of patches in it because semis hit this road a lot, so it kind of tears it up. But it's definitely the roughest road that I have to go over. I mean, it would just beat you to death if you had to drive on roads like this that were longer and more consistently bad. Fortunately, this isn't a long stretch because I do take this road frequently as a shortcut. But that kind of gives you an idea of what it's like in the Wrangler on a rougher road. Now, there is one thing I do want to mention. I've done some 0 to 60 tests comparing the two-door Wrangler to the Jeep Gladiator, and the Wrangler is much quicker. It's a 6-point-some-odd second ride as compared to the Gladiator. So you do get that. They do have the same engines, by the way, but this has less weight. So now let's go grab the Gladiator for comparison. All right, we're in the Jeep Gladiator now. Same thing, let's give you the specs. It's a 2020. I do have the same tires on this truck as I had have on the Jeep Wrangler. Otherwise, it's basically stock. There is no lift on this truck, and it does have the same cold air intake. So, and it is a hardtop. Here we go. We're making that first turn. It's not too bad. I mean, obviously, you're going to feel the change, the transitional change in the road. But now we're going to go around. We're on that same back road. I am taking this same route, by the way. You may have noticed already, the camera is not bouncing around like it was before because the ride is so much better. But we'll have a good test up here when I take a left because we're going to go over that transition that is pretty severe. So let's hit that, pull up to the stop sign here. Let this truck go by. Always good to let the vehicles coming at you go by. Here we go. So here's the turn. It is pretty firm, I must say. That turn is a killer, and it probably is only a little bit better than the two-door Wrangler. Now we're on that straight stretch that we were on before. Let's listen to the wind because it's still blowing the same direction. And you know, it might actually sound a little bit louder inside the Gladiator than it does in the Jeep Wrangler. So maybe the trade-off between the soft top, the hard top, and the ride quality, I don't know. I'd rather have the ride quality. We're going to get onto that 55-mile-an-hour road now, where we'll have the wind coming across the truck just like we did before. So let's get out here. This will give you a good idea of the sound. Now, the ride quality here, it is a relatively smooth road. So I don't expect there to be a huge difference, although I can say I don't feel as much of the road in the Gladiator as I did in the Wrangler. You don't feel every nook and cranny like you do in the Gladiator, or the Wrangler rather. So we're going to continue on. I'll be quiet here for a second. You can kind of hear what it sounds like with the wind coming again kind of this way across the truck. And I do feel the same kind of buffeting that I did, not quite as severe, but I still do feel the buffeting to the truck. I mean, it is still just a big square or rectangle sitting on the frame, but it is better because it is heavier. So now we're going to go on. We'll go over those railroad tracks too. I'll come back on for that, and then we'll get to that rougher road. Okay, here are the railroad tracks. Not too bad. It's just a smoother transition, I think. Once you get up on the shocks, get up on the suspension, it's just a bit smoother. We're going to turn onto that rougher road in just a second. Okay, turning onto that rougher road. I'm going to try to take the same path even on the road as I did before. So the bumps start now. That's the first set, I guess, and there are many. But you can tell already, I think, looking at the way the camera's bouncing, the way I'm bouncing or reacting in the truck, it is definitely a much, much smoother road. We're going to come right here. That's one of the worst parts of it, and right here as well. Just kind of glides back over it. Now, I will say it's not as smooth as going over the same road with the Ram 1500. That is going to give an even better ride because it has a softer suspension and it's much heavier. So anyway, that's just a bit of a test. One more thing I want to mention, fuel economy. The Wrangler is getting 13 miles per gallon, and if I check the Gladiator right now, real time, I'm at 15.5. So obviously we get better fuel economy, which is strange since it's a heavier vehicle, but it is getting much better. I would say much better, 2 miles per gallon, a little better fuel economy than the two-door Wrangler is. Anyway, that's just another reason, or reasons, I guess, why I would pick the Jeep Gladiator over the two-door Wrangler anyway. And don't get me wrong, I do love the Jeep Wrangler. I have toyed with getting one myself, but then I jump in my wife's, take it for a ride, and between getting in and out of it and the ride quality of it as well as some other things, just not something I can do. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know if you have both or have had both. Which do you prefer? The Jeep Wrangler, particularly the two-door, or the Jeep Gladiator? I'd be curious to know. Again, real quick, if you did in the beginning, make sure you smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive, all about the Toyota Tacoma, and Rob Motive FST, all about full-size trucks. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.